Hey, what's up, good people, and welcome back to another episode of Mono to Atmos. And today is an interesting day because we are about to talk about shotgun microphones for content creators and filmmakers. So today is all about sound, and I decided that we're going to start from zero, like zilch. We're going to start from really down there because, again, I also understand that we were doing a lot of post production work and there is very little understanding on matters post production, and the best way to go about this is actually to start from what is audio capture and then move all the way into post production, so that if you're a beginner, if you're someone who has been doing this for a long time and you're a professional, you can gain something out of these interactions. So today we are going to talk about shotgun microphones and ideally, what are shotgun microphones and why are they called shotgun microphones? So shotgun microphones are called shotgun microphones because of their shape. Okay, they have a barrel that looks like the barrel of a shotgun. And why are they interesting and why are they sought after by filmmakers and even content creators? This is because of the kind of clarity that they actually give. They have this clarity that most other microphones cannot give you, especially when you're doing on location work, even studio work, outdoor work. They're very versatile and they cut across all forms of content creation and even all forms of filmmaking. So if you're looking for a good microphone that will be able to help you do content well, or even just get your films to sound clean and crisp, then you will never go wrong with shotgun microphones. So maybe I want us to just look at a couple of shotgun microphones that I have and maybe just look at why they're preferred or why they're used. Again, before we move forward so much, I want us to demystify something here. I know that there's, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, there is this interest around very expensive gear. I'm not here to talk to you about very expensive gear, especially if you're into content creation. Then you don't necessarily need to go for that very expensive microphone. You don't need a $3,000 microphone to be able to do your YouTube channel or even to just do your TikToks. For instance, right now I'm not recording using a shotgun microphone because today I'm showcasing shotgun microphones. This is just a normal pencil condenser microphone, and it's not very expensive. I think this is about $300, okay? And you can hear the kind of sound quality that it's giving you. Compare this to what the camera sound is actually capturing. You can tell that you would rather go with this form factor of a microphone. But we're going to get deeper into what shotgun microphones are and why they're versatile and even their sound quality. And we'll even look at a few tests of the few shotgun microphones that are here with us today. So the first thing that you need to understand when you come to choosing shotgun microphones is a budget. The first thing you need to do is, do you have a budget for a shotgun microphone? Because shotgun microphones start from around $150 all the way to $1,000, all the way to $3,000. I think you can even get slightly more expensive shotgun microphones, okay, out there. And so it really comes down to your budget. And just because you have a low budget, don't dismiss the aspect of getting a shotgun microphone by thinking that people out there will be able to tell apart the quality. So in Africa, there is this notion where people want the best or the most expensive shotgun microphone, thinking that it's going to have the best. So you have people actually spending money on $3,500 microphones or even $1,000 microphones, but you can get equal quality for $400 microphones, $300 microphones, and even $150 microphones. So let's quickly just look at some of the microphones that I have here. So this is what we call a shotgun microphone. Okay, I hope it can be seen clearly. This is a shotgun microphone, and what I was talking about, the barrel that looks like a shotgun, is this part. And then we have vents on the side, okay? We have these grooves on the side, and these ones help to reject sound. Because how shotgun microphones work is they're very directional, and they actually pick sound from the front. This is the front, okay? And these grooves on the side, okay, this that make the barrel, they're used for canceling out sound. So they're able to cancel sounds that are coming from the sides or from the rear. So some shotgun microphones actually pick a bit of sound from the rear, but they're very good with sound rejections from the sides. That's why we call them, we say that they're very directional. And they are widely used, especially in film sets or even in content creation, because you're able to isolate your sound and you're able to get crisp, clean sound when it's pointed right. There's pretty much quite a number of microphones. There's another shotgun microphone over here. This is slightly longer, okay? So maybe you might find this to be a bit more directional, okay? So these are from the Audio Technica. Audio Technica is a good brand. I love their microphones. For instance, this is the Audio Technica 4073A. If you're looking for a shotgun microphone and you'd want to grab this, might cost you between $400 to $700. Okay. There's this that is very popular in Africa. This is the 8020, the Audio Technica 8020 long barrel shotgun microphone. Okay. So then I also want to show you another one that I have here. This is the AKG shotgun microphone. AKG is one of the first brands that I came across when I was just starting out on Matters Sound. That's about 205, 206. And I used to love the microphone. I remember getting the AKG condenser mic, the C200. And it was an amazing, smooth microphone that served me so well. And so this is an AKG shotgun microphone. AKG make quite a number of other interesting shotgun microphones, but I know that they're no longer creating microphones anymore. So if you get one and you want to keep it, just buy and maybe you can have it for the keep. So as we talk about shotgun microphones, I want to talk about maybe some of the things that you will require when you get yourself a shotgun microphone. Because again, if you're using a DSLR, you might find that you are not able to connect a shotgun microphone straight to your camera. For instance, I'm recording on a DSLR, and for that reason, I'm unable to connect a shotgun microphone straight to the camera. And for that reason, I have this recorder right here. I have a recorder right here where the microphones are going into, okay? Because most shotgun microphones require phantom power. Okay, so because most shotgun microphones require phantom power, which is plus 48 volts, it could be between 12 and 48 volts. Okay, that's why you need a separate gadget that you're able to turn on the phantom power. For instance, a microphone like this has a compartment for where you can put your battery, so it does not necessarily need phantom power. You can always just put in your battery. It's an electret microphone, so you can put in your battery and it will be able to charge the condenser aspect in the microphone. So this one you can actually use without turning on phantom power. So there's microphones like this where if you don't have something that can turn on phantom power, you can always connect your battery and then figure out how you can boost this signal so that it becomes active and it's actually usable. I also want to talk about another kind of shotgun microphone, and this is the long shotgun microphone. So this kind of microphone is used for a lot of isolation, okay? This does, if you really want to isolate your subject, you want to go for the long shotgun microphone. This is a Sennheiser long shotgun microphone. I hope you can see it. It also has its grooves on the side, the slits for rejecting or canceling out sound. But this is quite directional. And then the other thing with this kind of microphone is you're going to lose a lot of your low end because of the long barrel. It's going to lose a lot of the low sounds, but it's going to be very exceptional when it comes to isolating your subject. So assuming you're going out for a shoot, maybe you're doing a documentary or you're doing a fictional film or you're just gathering content and you have a team that can use a shotgun microphone and you want to be isolated in the market, this would be a good microphone to use. We generally never use shotgun microphones indoors, okay? It's never a good idea to try and use shotgun microphones indoors. Shotgun microphones are best used for outdoors because of their long barrel and the slits on the side that cancel out sounds from the sides. And why is this so? When you record indoors, you see these are small spaces, claustrophobic, sort of clusterful spaces. And for that reason, when you speak, for instance, now that I'm speaking, my dialogue usually bounce off the walls and come back. And when they come back, they will come back and hit the microphone on the sides. When they hit the microphone on the sides, remember, the directional sound from my mouth already went through the front of the barrel. But when the reverb comes and hits the microphone on the sides, it will take it in and try to cancel it out. In the process of trying to cancel what is hitting the microphone on the side, it meets my signal that is coming straight from my mouth. And because the signal coming straight from my mouth is almost similar to the signal hitting it on the sides, it will start canceling in the barrel. So you start having something called phasing right inside this barrel. That is why shotgun microphones are not best used for indoors. You can always use them, but you might notice that when you use them indoors, they're not as full sounding as opposed to when you use them outside. Why are they interesting when you use them outside? Because when you're using them outside, you don't have your voice reverberating on walls. So the sounds that come from the sides are mainly noise. And when that noise comes and hits this side and they hit this side, they're able to just cancel that noise and try to, as much as possible, retain the integrity of your signal, which could be you speaking into the microphone. So I just want us to look at maybe some of the accessories that you might need if you're going to use this type of microphones, so shotgun microphones. The first thing that actually you must understand you need a cable, an XLR cable, because most of their connectors are XLR cables. So I don't know if you can see back here, if you look back here, you notice that it has a 3-pin XLR. So you also need a 3-pin cable. So a 3-pin cable that would go at the back of each microphone. So for instance, if I want to connect this microphone, so this is now connected through the 3-pin cable. So you're going to need an XLR cable. The other thing that you will need is now what to use to record. So a gadget like this, or a sound recorder, a field recorder of some sort, and it must have phantom power. Phantom power is just plus 48, and especially when you're buying your microphone, look at it if it actually has a plus 48 volts requirement, so that you don't buy a microphone while you're using a DSLR and expect it to work. So I also want us to maybe do quick tests on what these different microphones sound like. Considering their price points. Again, I can't remember how much I bought these other microphones for, because I bought them quite a while back, and some of them I get off eBay at very subsidized rates. But you could always check how much they're going for. But you must not always get what I have. You can always get what fits your budget. You will never go wrong. The difference in sound quality is not that astronomical. So let's just put on phantom power on this microphone and see what it sounds like. So we've done that, and so this is the microphone. It's connected to the recorder right now. Apparently the Zoom recorder that I'm using, you cannot turn on phantom power once you started working. But ideally, so we've connected this, and I'm trying to gain stage it. I can't properly gain stage it right now because I can't see my recorder as much as I want. Let me just try and see how much I can see. So 1, 2, 3. So let's just listen to this. So she sells seashells at the seashores where the sun shines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My name is Lawrence, and this is the Audio Technica 4073A. This is a shotgun microphone that you can use to do your content, or even you can use in your film sets. It's quite a nice microphone, okay? That would serve you well because it is quite versatile. I just want you to feel the sound that comes out of this microphone, and then you can also tell me what you think. So let's go to the next microphone, and I'm going to try the AKG. So this is the AKG. It's a C568B. Let's just see what this sounds like. Hey, what's up, good people? Let me just quickly gain stage it a bit. This is a slightly gain-hungry microphone, but you can tell how it sounds like. It's also a bit sibilant. If you can listen to it properly, you'll notice that it's a bit sibilant, but this is a good microphone that you could also add in your arsenal. It's an old microphone. I am sure you can get it for chips off of eBay, but you can tell that it gives you some sense of clarity, some sense of an open sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She sells seashells to the seashores where the sun shines. If I bring it closer, you can tell what it sounds like. And when I take it a little bit further, you can tell what it sounds like. So let's go to the other microphone. Okay. This is a sensitive microphone. 1, 2, 3. This is an extremely sensitive microphone, and this is a clear indication as to why you don't want to use shotgun microphones indoors, because you can tell it's really boomy and it does not sound as natural as the other microphones because of the long barrel that it has. Okay, The other thing also to note about some of these cheap microphones, because this should be around $250 or less, is that they can be a bit noisy, but I'm gonna do a bit of cleaning in post production to ensure that because it has a bit of a sizzle, it has a bit of some rustle going on, but we'll try and do a bit of cleaning. But you can tell how this sounds like, and let me also just try to show you how it rejects when you turn it to the side. So you can tell that when I turn it to the side, it kind of rejects my voice. And when I bring it back, it kind of picks my voice, and it's very boomy. So you can always do post-production work on it. And when I turn it like this, you'll find that because it's a shotgun microphone, it starts to reject my voice. Okay, so that is why we say that this kind of microphones have got very good rejection, and they pick up sounds that are right in front of them very well. So let's try and test the long shotgun microphone from Sennheiser. So for this microphone, I am going to plug in what we call it's more of a converter. I need to plug in a converter because this microphone, it's an old microphone. I got it for chips, but so it does not actually use the new 48 volts phantom power. It uses the 12T. I need to convert it from 12T to 48 volts. The newer ones have the 48 volts. So I'm going to use this converter that converts from 12T to 48 volts so that I don't break the microphone. So I'm going to plug this here. Then I'm going to plug this into the microphone. This is a pretty long microphone, and this is a beautiful example of what phasing sounds like, because you can just clearly tell there's a lot of phasing going on because you're using this microphone indoors. That's why you don't want to use long shotgun microphones indoors, or you don't want to generally use shotgun microphones indoors. They're microphones for indoor use, which we will talk about in another video. But today I just want to tell you, like, you can always get by with them, but they're not the best. They're not the best choice for indoor use. So if we try to do a side, off axis, high pitch sound from the off axis, you can tell that it's completely now just rejecting my voice. Okay. And as I bring it back, you will notice that the more I bring it back, it starts to pick my voice. So it's very directional. This is a very directional microphone that would help you isolate your subject and pick your signals in a crowded space in a very good way. So if you know that you're going to shoot in a market, or you're going to shoot somewhere that you want maximum isolation and it's outdoors, this is a good example of a microphone that you want to use in such a situation. So quickly, I just want to talk about maybe some of the accessories that you might need when working with shotgun microphones, because they are you cannot just use shotgun microphones like that. You're not supposed to hold them with your hands the way I'm holding them with my hands. So some of the things that you might need is something like a foam, especially if you're shooting indoors. A foam would come in handy. This is a foam, okay? And all you do is on your microphone, you just put it inside your foam, something of that sort. And now this is ready for indoor use, because every time, for instance, when you're using a microphone indoors and you're booming it, you will keep swinging the microphone between two people, okay? Yeah, and that sort of creates some wind around the microphone, but this foam would isolate the microphone from that sort of wind that you create as you move the microphone back and forth between people. And also it helps with the plosives. Plosives are please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. Those are plosives. The P's and the B's that sort of create this heavy sound of distortion that just hits the microphone. So this also helps with the plosives. Okay. The other thing, if you're going to use your shotgun microphone outside, you might get is something we call a dead cut. This is an example of a dead cut. And the dead cuts, all you do is you take your microphone and you place them inside the dead cut. This helps to cut out wind rumble, because especially when you're shooting outside, there's usually a lot of wind rumble, okay? And this just helps to kill all the wind rumble and give you crisp, clean dialogue that your client will be happy with, or your post-production sound person will be happy with. The other things that you might need when you're using a shotgun are things like a a pistol grip and a blimp. So an example of a pistol grip and a blimp, let me just quickly open this. This is a blimp. It helps to cut down sound. It's much better than a dead cut. So when I pull this up, this is a pistol grip. So your microphone will go here into this, and then you can put it inside the blimp. And then once you have it in your blimp, so for instance, I could just put this inside the blimp really fast. So these are some of the accessories that you need. I'll just come here and just squeeze this. This is the Rode blimp. I'm not advertising for Rode, but this is what I have. So if you want this, you can actually get them. If you don't know how to get them, you can talk to us. We can help you acquire some of this gear. If you want us to advise you also on what you need to get, if you're a content creator or a filmmaker, you can also talk to us. We'll be able to advise you on what to get. So something about the pistol grip is it all sort of acts like a shock absorber. So when you move your microphone, this actually absorbs that shock. Okay, so you do not get bumps on your microphone. And then you're gonna put it inside your blimp. You just tighten it. Okay. So you put it inside your blimp. And then once it's inside your blimp, you're ready to go. If you're shooting indoors, you can always just use this without the dead wombat outside. Let me just quickly show you what a dead wombat is. And especially when you're going to shoot outside, you need the dead wombat because it helps cut wind. It's a professional grade way of cutting out wind because wind can really mess up your recordings. Don't go out to shoot with a shotgun using this kind of foam. I just want to quickly also show you what you could do with your blimp is it usually comes with a back cover. Okay, you can just cover the back like that. You just cover it like that, and you're ready to go. So you can always use this as handheld, or you could always use it on a boom pole. And then if you're going to use it outside, you're going to need what we call a dead wombat. This is what a dead wombat looks like. Okay. This is a dead wombat. So this is the dead wombat that I use when I'm using the long shotgun microphone. Remember, we had the long shotgun microphone. So if I'm going to use the long shotgun microphone, then I would use this long dead wombat, and it just fits into the blimp, so you can always just put it inside like that, But I have a shorter blimp, but this is what a blimp looks like, and it actually really cuts out wind noise. The other thing I want us to do is maybe I just show you, if you're using the long shotgun microphone, there's usually an extension. Okay, you buy an extension for your blimp, something like this. So this will actually extend your blimp for the long shotgun microphone such that it's much longer now, as you can see, and it can accommodate the long shotgun microphone. As you can see now, it's a much longer microphone, okay? But this one actually fits in pretty much, it fits in well inside this. But this is when you're looking to really isolate. So what am I saying with regards to my shotgun microphones? Shotgun microphones are like, they are actually like, shotgun microphones are like lenses, okay? So you cannot just be a sound person and you only have one shotgun microphone. You need different shotgun microphones for different scenarios because, again, if you're doing content or if you're going to do a documentary, you do not know what scenarios you're going to find. So it's always good to have a multiplicity of microphones in your sound bag. But if you're just a content creator for YouTube, one microphone should be able to serve you. One shotgun microphone should be able to serve you well for both indoors and outdoors. But remember, I don't recommend using shotgun microphones indoors, but worst case scenarios, they're not usually so bad, okay? But sometimes they can really mess you up, especially when you're in tiny spaces or even if you're trying to shoot something off a car, they can really mess you up. The other thing I want to talk about is typically shotgun microphones come in two flavors, supercardioid and hypercardioid. And all this means is that one has a wider pickup pattern, okay, in terms of the rejection. So it would pick up wider. The hypercardioid picks up a bit narrower. So we could say this is a hypercardioid because it has a narrow pickup pattern, okay? And this one would say is a supercardioid because it has a wider pickup pattern, okay? And if you're interested in having crisp sound for your film, I highly recommend you getting a shotgun microphone. But I also want to say this, it's not just about the gear, because in Africa we are so bought into the gear that we have. It's about the skill set. So you need to improve your skill set on things like gain staging. Where is your gain on your recorder? Okay, how do you gain? How do you properly gain? This comes with the experience over time, because most of the time we get unusable audio because of poor gain staging. And the other thing that I also have to mention is every time you're recording your dialogue or your audio, kindly have headphones. That is why today I actually have headphones all through this entire episode. It's very important that you have headphones because you want to constantly monitor your audio, because most of the time you don't know what's going on. If you don't monitor your audio, you will not know whether there is noise in the microphone. You will not be able to understand what's happening on the other side of the microphone. If there's plosives or someone is actually muted, they're not being heard. So it's always very important that you always have headphones when you're using a shotgun microphone or when you're just doing sound generally. The other thing is you can always have shotgun microphones have multiple ways of mounting them. You can mount them on something like this, a boom arm. You can always mount them on a boom pole. An example of a boom pole is this. This is a boom pole. Okay. This is the Rode boom pole. So you can always mount them and, hold them up as, a boom. You can always have it like that. Let me just quickly put it back. You can always mount them on a camera. If you have one of those cameras that have XLR inputs like the Blackmagic, you can always mount them on the camera. So they come with multiple ways of mounting them. You can always mount them on a C-stand, on a stand. They has multiple ways of mounting. So if you acquire a shotgun microphone, it does not always mean that you need so many people to work with. If you're doing content like this, you can always just mount it on a boom stand, on a boom arm, and you're good to go. So as I come to an end with this episode, this is what I want to say. If you're looking for good, crisp dialogue or audio, if you want to capture good, crisp audio, and you're wondering which is the best way to go for content and film, for indoor, outdoor, and whatever places that you want to capture sound, I would recommend a shotgun microphone. Of course, when you're buying your shotgun microphones, there's so many other things you need to consider. So for that reason, it's always important that you read the manual, look at what is in the manual, look at the pickup patterns, look at the sensitivity. You need to understand the microphone sensitivity, and all that information is usually on the manual. So it's very important that you acclimatize yourself with what these terms mean. Maybe one day we'll go through these terms and what they mean. For instance, the pickup patterns, the cardioids, the hypercardioids. But I'm sure as we talk about microphones, because hopefully next time I'm going to talk about studio condenser microphones, then we'll talk about lapels, and we're going to talk about quite a number of the dynamic microphones, and we'll look at some of the terms, what they mean. And by the time you're done with these sessions, you'll be able to understand some of the things that are very basic that you need to understand about microphones. So I think we can wrap up today. I'm not sure if there's anything that I've left out, but if you really want good quality sound for your content or for your film, the best way to go is usually to get the shotgun microphones. In fact, when we're doing post-production, we usually go to the shotgun microphone first, and only when the shotgun microphone fails or has issues, that's when we go to the lapels. Lapels are never our primary source for sound. But again, if you're just doing content for YouTube, you don't necessarily have to go at the extra mile of getting a shotgun microphone. You could always use lapels. You could always use dynamic microphone. You could also use condenser studio microphones if you're just in a closed space. But the moment you start moving around, lapels would also come in handy. And if you're moving around a lot outdoors and you have someone who can help you hold the the boom, you can always do that. But you can also hold the boom, you can always just hold the boom and talk and do your thing. So that's the beautiful thing about shotgun microphones. They are very versatile. You can hold them, you can mount them, you can have someone else boom them at you. They're pretty amazing. They're pretty versatile. But also, because there's nothing between yourself and the boom, it becomes very crisp and clear in terms of the kind of quality of sound that you capture. The other thing I want to say is the shortfalls about the boom, and one of the shortfalls is if you do not point the boom right in the right place, you might not have the right kind of sound. So gain staging, boom placement are very important, especially when you're using boom microphones. Like I showed you, if you start turning or you put it off axis, you're going to have an issue with sound, okay? So for you to get clear, good sound, ensure that you always point your boom microphone at least between the mouth and the chest. That is usually pretty much where we want to point between the mouth and the chest, and you'll get a good balance of the resonance that comes from the chest and what is coming out of the mouth. And I think with that, we can call this a day. And my name is Lawrence. It's been nice talking to you. Until we meet next time, adios.